Our first topic is about Splinter Cell. What happened to Splinter Cell, guys? And that is the first topic of our show here today. A game and a series that I have absolutely loved. We've made content on the YouTube channel up to this point on Splinter Cell and kind of like the future of Splinter Cell. But what really happened to this game, and will Ubisoft at some point or another bring it back? So let's talk about it. If we look on as far as articles and places in which have been talking about Splinter Cell in particular, you can look no further than Forbes, who wrote an article. Eric Kane over at Forbes wrote an article stating Ubisoft is teasing a new Splinter Cell game. It's been 6 years since a Splinter Cell game came out, an entire console generation. Now Ubisoft is teasing what very well could be a new game in the stealth action series. On Ubisoft's Spanish Twitter account, the company posted a tweet which translated, "It is necessary to understand the darkness in order to face it," of course showing an image of Sam Fisher. And of course Sam Fisher is the protagonist of the Splinter Cell games. I suppose this could be a tweet about a remaster or remake, but Ubisoft isn't quite as prone to those as many other publishers. Ubisoft is the king of sequels. Splinter Cell Blacklist came out in 2013, a time before almost all of Ubisoft's games started to feel quite so samey. Nowadays, Ghost Recon and Far Cry and Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs and The Division all share so much open world DNA, one imagines any new Splinter Cell likely going the same route. Games like Rainbow Six Siege give me hope, however. That game is about as far removed from the Ubisoft formula as you can get. Perhaps a new Splinter Cell will ditch the formula as well and stick with what makes these games so fun. Strong mission design and great stealth. So before we even go any farther, guys, that very last sentence that was stated here. Strong mission design and great stealth. What happened in my eyes, guys, when it comes to the Splinter Cell series, and we said this already on multiple occasions, but Splinter Cell Blacklist, what they did there was they went away from what made the game so great, and that being like stealth oriented and, strong mission design. Not saying that Blacklist didn't have any stealth whatsoever, but when you really think about it, Splinter Cell as a whole is all about the stealth. It's about great story. And of course, it kind of evolved to having, great co-op elements to it as well. Multiplayer is something that we're kind of still waiting to see a really good addition to the franchise. But Blacklist was taking us in the direction of action orientation, as far as from a standpoint of they wanted to make Splinter Cell, it seemed, more of an action game than a stealth game, because that was kind of the trend at the time in 2013. Lots of games coming out were more so based around, action adventure, and those were the games that were really popular. But what made Splinter Cell so great was that stealth genre, really. I mean, it was kind of one of those, it almost, transcended the stealth genre in gaming, and I think a lot of us want to see the continuation of this franchise. I mean, it's just one of those things, guys, that I think all of us want to see a continuation of it, and why not? It's almost like, when people say, why do we need another Splinter Cell? It's like, why not have another Splinter Cell? It's such a great series. And sure, Blacklist, we don't want that to be the very last game that everyone thinks of when you think of Splinter Cell. You want something that kind of, if Splinter Cell and Sam Fisher's story is over, you want it to go out with a bang. And when you think about it, to me, his story is definitely not over yet. As of now, this is the only thing I've seen with regards to a new Splinter Cell, and it's curious to see it come from this particular Twitter account rather than Ubisoft's main account. Hopefully we'll know more very soon. Weirdly enough, it turns out that this image is from the Ghost Recon Wildlands Splinter Cell crossover from a while back. Whether that means Ubisoft is just messing with us or something else entirely remains to be seen. Maybe Eric, as well as a lot of us, just want to continue to believe, and I agree 100% with this. We want to believe that there is going to be another Splinter Cell game. And I believe that there is, guys, at some point or another. I believe what really ultimately happened, though, to Splinter Cell, guys, was when you really look at this as a franchise, was doing so well, and then all of a sudden with Blacklist, when that came out, the negative reaction from fans and even some critics and such alike was that they're going away from the formula, similar to what happened with Dead Space. So it was a horror game, and they kind of moved into this action kind of genre. They wanted to move into an action-based game, and it just didn't hit well for a lot of people out there. And so I want to see them come back better than ever with another Splinter Cell. And if you look at Splinter Cell as a whole, guys, you can look at that Splinter Cell, as far as the games are concerned, I mean, started in 2002. And we had games almost, for a number of years, guys. We had new games coming out. I mean, you look at 2002, you had the first Splinter Cell. Then Pandora Tomorrow in 2004, so 2 years later. Then you had Chaos Theory a year after that. And then you had Essentials, followed by Double Agent in 2006. And then Conviction was a number of years after that, which was in 2010. And then, of course, Blacklist. And so what I'm getting at here is not only have there, it's been a long time since we saw a Splinter Cell, and you could kind of see that, at first, I mean, they were bringing out incredible games. I mean, the golden ages of this franchise, I mean, you could say even the first Splinter Cell, but really from Pandora Tomorrow all the way to Conviction, you had all those years of incredible Splinter Cell titles, and then all of a sudden we got Blacklist, which, look, it's a step in the wrong direction, but they've had all these years to kind of get it right and try to, kind of put the series into the right direction. I think that we're probably going to see a new Splinter Cell on the next generation consoles at some point or another. I think Ubisoft, part of it's also that Ubisoft is focused so much more on Assassin's Creed and the Far Cry series, as well as even Watch Dogs. You could even, say, Rainbow Six as well. I mean, there's a number of games that they're kind of prioritizing over Splinter Cell, which is really unfortunate. I think part of it has to do with Splinter Cell being mainly a single-player experience instead of like a full kind of package where it's like a single-player and a multiplayer all wrapped up, which I think they could do that. They could make it a single-player co-op, multiplayer. I think they could certainly do that with Splinter Cell, and I think Ubisoft has what it takes to do that. I think that really at this point, though, they are more focused on some of their other bigger IPs, even though Splinter Cell was a pretty big IP back in the day. But let me know what you guys think about this. For a series that not only has novels made, there's been talks of actual, live action movie coming out, and then of course, rumors of a sequel coming out to Blacklist for many, many years. What do you guys think about the future of Splinter Cell? What do you guys think happened? Do you think it was Blacklist was the kind of the reason why the series has been on a hiatus? Or do you think that, Sam Fisher's kind of story is pretty much over? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And for more Splinter Cell news, content, and videos, stay here with Zero TV.